Let's go.
Welcome to Comics League Dark, and some stuff happened that last part of my intro is actually very appropriate. I'm gonna bring the boys in. Let's start with the man that brings the heat. And what's up? And then I'll bring in the other guy. Before you say anything, Nick, I just got to ask you, how's that crow taste? Because suck it!
I don't know.
That's what she said.
Let's find out, because I've got to eat. It's tuna, but let's just pretend this is crow. So, at one point, I once said Wonder Woman will not be appearing in SHAZAM, and today,
all right. I need to say one thing. I made a very special clip to celebrate this. Here's a live feed of my office when I saw this news.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm. Wait. Everybody calm down.
There you go, baby. And I think that this is appropriate right here. That is right. Gal Gadot is confirmed to be in frickin' SHAZAM.
I will be gracious in defeat, and I will say, I am happy to be proven wrong. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong, and you know what? That's a good thing.
Wait. We can actually show Nick. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that beautiful face.
Without a doubt, there is no doubt.
There is no freaking doubt. Look at that gorgeous woman right there. Look at her right there.
Hey, Jared.
Excuse me a moment.
You could afford to be a little more smart.
All right, Lawrence, the fake Wonder Woman news. So apparently in the movie, there's gonna be a fake one that's like SHAZAM fantasizing about stuff happening, and then she's gonna actually show up. Is it just a cameo? Apparently, she plays a pivotal role in the last battle.
It is a battle of Greek mythology. So,
what, Nick?
Sorry, I'm too busy eating crow right now.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh! All right, so I'm on the moon right now, okay? Because it's not like it would never. It's not like Cavill when he showed up and was like no, and was like from the neck down. She is there. Eat it, Warner. Eat it, Hamada. Eat it. Everyone, eat it.
there's a double entendre in that somewhere, but I'm not gonna say it
now. So, yeah, I have been humbled.
Ha! It's so cool when Nick is wrong. Oh my gosh!
Oh, come on!
I'm so jazzed up right now. I want to go kick in a door.
Please don't. Those things are expensive to fix.
I'll tell you what. I'll settle for this. Hang on. I got a perfect clip for that. Hang on. I just realized that. I got to have the Snyder cut in here. There you go, baby.
Also, to cap it off, can we get a second Warner Brothers?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. Hang on. Where is that clip?
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
There you go, baby. Woo! Our lady is back, at least temporarily, for the movie. Wait.
So you know what that? Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you know what that means, everybody. When it comes to the movies, ready. I'm trying to There's a thing you need ready the Armada.
Okay.
Let him have it. Roll the clip.
You know, to go see the movie. Now we need you all to go see the movie.
Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
And by old ways, I mean get in your car and go to the movie theater and go
see this movie if you want to see Gal Gadot.
Go see this rockstar movie. Go see it.
Go to this movie if you want to watch Gal Gadot.
If you want to have a wonderful time watching beautiful women do great things, go see this movie. And I hope you see what I did.
Because not only that, you got Mary Marvel and all that, and I'm like, yeah, but still, it's confirmed.
Also,
Gal Gadot.
Mary Marvel, her thick thighs will save all the lives.
Yeah. So apparently, so the line is she's walking away from SHAZAM. She goes, "Stick to saving the world, kid." And apparently, David Sandberg did not know that was going to be in the trailer. He legit posts. He goes, "Well, there's some big SHAZAM spoilers out there now. If you want to go in fresh, don't be online or watch TV with ads, please." Pretty good advice in general, actually. But he goes, "I'm happy if it convinces people to go see the movie, but it's of course less ideal for people who are going to see it anyway, and then they happen to see spoilers. So he's pissed, but still.
Can I just say I really like David Sandberg? He just seems like a really nice guy. I'd love to
He's
talk.
a really cool
like,
dude. Yeah,
I'd like
we'll
to
talk
sit
about, and we're
down
also
and talk with him.
well, we're gonna talk about Karen too as well, but that's besides the point. But,
Oh, that'll be quite the marvelous conversation.
yeah, I know. But all right, so I'm gonna go around the panel and talk about your boys' thoughts on this happening. JJheat, what's up?
Honestly, I really thought this was going to be a faceless cameo. Not going to lie.
Okay, well in that case, suck it to you, JJheat, as well.
Oh my god! Can we please rein his ego in?
I was right. I almost said the B word. Dang it! Dang my brand principles.
You are right, female dog.
Yes, yes.
In the words of Rageaholic, suck you, I was right. Suck you,
I was right. Suck you, I was right. Yes, there you go. I knew they weren't going to make that same mistake again, particularly when James Gunn has railed about how Hamada was constantly made mistakes. So I'm like,
I just need to start like a show where I can have you guys on my channel. That way we get a little saucier. Like
yeah.
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We will discuss it. We will discuss it. But oh my gosh, is this a happy moment for me, baby? This is a very happy moment because, again, my ladies, my third favorite superhero, maybe second, first being Superman. Hey, what's up, Brown Destroyer? How about Gal in Shazam? I want to play another Gal clip. Any requests?
Would you say you're a goofy goober?
Hang on, I got it.
Can you have Mommy Gal Gadot call me out and call me a liar?
Oh, okay. So this was my reaction to whenever Nick said it's gonna be a faceless cameo, like a B word.
Thank you, Mommy.
Here's Nick whenever he tries to predict something.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Ha!
Hey, my predictions are usually actually pretty accurate. This is just the one time where I'm humble. All right.
We'll see what happens. But why don't I join this?
I'll admit when I'm wrong, but don't tell me so short.
All right. Why don't I join this if it just got spoiled? Well, it wasn't us that spoiled you, dude. It was Twitter and Warner Brothers. Is this news is real? It is 100% real.
I have to say this. Yes, Brown, it's real, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. But
if you get the reference,
Brown, she shows up in a what's the word? In a TV spot, literally a TV spot. It's my first time I'm hearing about this.
We would show a clip of it, but Warner Brothers Ninjas have been.
I'll tell you what. I'll show a picture. I will show a picture because I played this clip 80 times.
80? I thought it'd be like 80,000, but
look,
whatever.
Look,
it's over.
That is real. That is real.
That is about as real as you could possibly get.
That is real and it's spectacular.
I love you, Jared. Please.
Yeah. Thank you. But so Nick, your thoughts on being completely wrong in this case?
I'm still eating crow, so I'll get back to you on that.
Enjoy it. You deserve it.
Wait, JJheat. No.
Because
every time I said I was eating crow, he said that's what she's like. There's certain things she says that is something that she does not say.
David Hernandez said they really should advertise her in the movie. That's what they're doing. That was a TV spot. And Brown Destroyer says, so then is she staying as Wonder Woman? TBD. I get the feeling.
I think Warner Brothers is gun shy because they're afraid of using the same tactic they used for Black Adam. By heavily advertising that Kumail's in the movie, and then people get disappointed.
Yeah. Also, I think what's going to happen is that if this movie does well, it's more likely she will be back as Wonder Woman. Which I'll be. If they keep some of the actors, I'll be like, okay.
Also, I want to talk about Henry Cavill for a second. Like, did you guys hear the speculation that there's a theory out there that that James Gunn. That they originally planned to keep Henry Cavill. That's why they made that big song and dance. But James Gunn showed Henry Cavill the plans that he was going to do for Superman, and he wanted no part of it, so he walked. Honestly, that actually does make a lot of sense to me because it doesn't make sense for Warner Brothers to do all that song and dance, like make such a big deal about Henry coming back. And don't get me wrong, they did make a big deal about him coming back. They led you to believe he was coming back long term.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, they did. Which, by the way, that could lead to false advertising lawsuits, baby.
Oh yeah, there's currently a lawsuit for so there was a movie that came out a few years ago called Yesterday.
I saw it.
Yeah, good movie. I like the movie.
Good movie.
But there's a deleted scene with Ana de Armas. I've seen the deleted scene. It's a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
But it appeared in the trailer, but didn't appear in the thing. So a guy sued, and it's now proceeding. If
they win, then guess what? Warner Brothers can be sued because they made us believe that Henry Cavill was going to be back as Superman to the point where they told him to announce it. So what happens is, guess what? They could be sued for restitution to Henry. And by the way, I have to change the banner for this. I was so excited, I forgot to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it could go that far because Henry wasn't really in the trailers. It's more promotional media.
No, but they did announce that he was going to be back, and then all of a sudden it's like, no. But
make no mistake, if this lawsuit goes through, it will create a precedent that will literally change Hollywood forever. I am not kidding. This will literally change how trailers are made and how they are made going forward.
Mm-hmm. I have a new Superman actor casting, Marcus Rosnar.
If you're going for if you're going for a pure golden age, Reeves look. Yeah, you can play.
All right, show a picture, please.
Yeah. This is actually again, Brown Destroyer demonstrates his. I could see that.
No. I'm sorry. He has a really weak chin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He has that really small I don't know. I just whenever I imagine Superman, he's got to have a really strong, square kind of jaw chin. That guy literally looks like he has tumors on both sides of his mouth.
Nice.
Oh, so it's like Peter Griffin.
So yeah, so that was the biggest surprise that for today. I did not see that because I was starting to think.
You did not see that coming?
Yeah. What if Warner Brothers makes the same mistake again? And then
it's Warner Brothers. We know they will. Here's a prediction. They're going to make the same mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Now the question is, what are the odds that they announce she's coming back and then they say no?
I give it.
I will be one rich brother.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty easy bet. I mean, because Warner Brothers historically does not learn from its mistakes.
Mm-hmm. So now, what do you think? I want to ask you this guys real quick. So there was also a rumor that James Gunn is discussing other DC roles that Henry Cavill can play. Now, let me ask you this: if it's not Superman, what other roles can Cavill play?
Nothing.
Yeah, good point. But JJheat,
he was Superman. He was the top of the ladder. He's still. That's like asking Christopher Reeve to come back in Batman Returns and play Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
There's not that many, but Henry Cavill could pull it off. Light Ray from the New Gods.
Orion?
Orion, definitely.
Nothing, because Christopher Reeve, Henry Cavill was the top of the ladder. He was any role you cast him in is gonna be
feel like a downgrade. It's gonna feel like a downgrade.
And all the press will talk about is Superman as in this character. I don't think it'll happen. Mm-hmm. Could Henry Cavill go to Marvel? That is very possible.
I'm still
Century,
convinced.
Captain Britain.
Hyperion.
Captain Britain.
He's not convinced.
Jared. He's not going to play a Superman.
Yeah,
clone, but I think
I heard
Captain Britain is very likely. It's just I keep repeating it, but you keep repeating it. Okay.
But anyway,
sorry, I'm gonna calm down. I was getting wound up.
All right. Oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? He'll be a pretty decent Wolverine. But my point is, I'm still convinced that a lot of James Gunn's plans aren't gonna last.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot this out there. This will never happen. But imagine in another universe, Henry Cavill played Nick Fury.
No.
No, the white Nick Fury.
No, I know what you're talking about, and still, no, I can't see him playing.
He could have
Nick.
done a great Nick Fury.
No.
Really?
I see where you're. Maybe in a flashback scene when he was younger, but.
Okay. Let's play this game for a second. Let's pretend. Lawrence, I know you're kidding, but so I'll give you a pass. But let's pretend that like every MCU role is up for grabs. Who would we cast? Henry Cavill, and if you want to go further, other DC people in.
Thor.
Okay, and for me, if I'm not gonna pick any of the Squadron Supreme because that's the obvious answer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna avoid that. I'm going to avoid that. If I can't pick any of the Squadron Supreme, it's either Captain Britain. That's one of the options there.
I mean, Henry Cavill as Captain America, though. Ooh. I can see that.
That would be hilarious. A Brit playing Captain America.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time an American played a Brit, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, well, I was about to say Peggy Carter, but her character's British, so never mind.
Yeah. But my computer charge is having issues. But okay, so
Gal Gadot would make an amazing Black Widow.
Oh yeah, particularly
Definitely.
if you've seen her in like Red Notice, she's playing Black Widow basically. Ben Affleck could play Nick Fury, dude.
I would say Namor.
Jason Momoa as Wolverine.
Yeah. How about
Come on, I can see it.
How about Affleck as Fury? He could play the white Nick Fury.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Ray Fisher as who would Ray play?
Rhodey.
War Machine. Yeah, that's good. I was just thinking that. Oh, Brown's got a great one.
He'd certainly do a better job than,
Waste of talent, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, but like.
No, I got a big FU to Brie Larson. She plays Captain Marvel.
What?
I'm saying Gal Gadot plays Captain Marvel. We boot Brie Larson, say Gal's playing Captain Marvel.
No, we're having actually
if you said every role's up for option.
No, but if it's gonna be Captain Marvel in this one, I want Monica Rambeau to be Captain Marvel in this one.
All right. Jeez.
It just
who would Zachary Levi play?
Nightcrawler?
No.
I love how we both said the same time.
Jason Momoa. Well, yeah, he would play a fantastic Lobo.
Perfect cast.
But that's it. We're doing a Marvel like
we're doing DC actors to Marvel. Which Marvel characters would they play lead?
Okay, how about
my money is Jason Momoa on Gambit or on either Gambit or Wolverine.
That is an interesting one. I could see him playing Wolverine. And by the way, David has a good one for Levi, Hawkeye.
No,
he's too old to play Spider-Man.
Too old.
Way too old. But a Stargirl actress from Legends of Tomorrow plays Cat. No,
actually, no. I cast her as Ms. Marvel. I cast her as a early 20s Ms. Marvel.
Okay, I could see that.
Pre-canon,
but no. What I mean by Ms. Marvel is like the old Ms. Marvel.
No, I know. But he can't. He can't play Spider-Man. Okay, he might say can't. Yeah, because he's way too old. Maybe like a future, like maybe Spider-Man 2099, maybe. But no way is he playing Spider-Man.
I don't think they'd ever do Miguel O'Hara in live action.
No, but I'm just saying if you were so hell-bent on making him play Spider-Man, that's the only way I could see him playing Spider-Man. But anyway, on a level of 1 to 10, how much?
Actually, if we're talking about the Stargirl actress, I'm sorry, but she's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, cast Jason Momoa's Lobo, race Ben Aquaman. I hate race swapping characters. Okay, ordinarily I agree, but here's the thing about the Aquaman one. 2, no one gave a crap about Aquaman before Jason Momoa was cast about it.
No one cared about Aquaman till I picked up the
and two, it makes sense that Aquaman, a character so in tune with the water, would be like Polynesian. So it makes a lot more sense. And Taladia, hey boys, can't stop by. It's about 5 a.m. But I have left a like on the stream. Also rewatch stream later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but hey Nick, I want to ask you this. So Yusuf brings up a good point. In the interest of intellectual consistency, why are you more okay with like Jason Momoa playing Aquaman?
I think for probably for similar reasons that you just said, like no one gave a crap about Aquaman. Like Aquaman was literally a joke of a character, and also and the thing is, I've always maintained, and if you go back on streams, I'm really consistent about this. I'm okay with race swaps if it's the right actor for the right role. Like
sounds fair.
Like if the problem is, a lot of it is tokenism, and it's just filling check boxes. But sometimes, like for example, take the Batman. Like the actor they had for Jim Gordon. Yeah, he's black, but he's such a great character, and he's perfect for Gordon.
Hell, and Catwoman.
She's not even the first black actress, nor is she the second black.
But she's fantastic in the role, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I really don't care.
Or if you want to go back a little bit, Michael Clark Duncan as a Kingpin in Daredevil 2003. He was perfect.
And that's fine. We hate that too, but the way Hollywood does is they do it in a way that
basically David summed up exactly how I feel. The problem is most of the time they don't work, and it's obvious it's either trying to piss people off, or like for example Ariel in The Little Mermaid does not work at all. Like, I'm sorry. That actress, she is over singing those songs to heck and back. That movie looks amazingly stupid. You got the Peter Pan movie where they just like mixed around the races. Like, oh, the Lost Boys has girls now for some stupid. Sorry, I was getting bad.
It's okay. Well, I'm trying to keep us on thing.
I stopped. It's so good.
Yeah.
April O'Neil is another one.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, listen, there are times when it works because, like, let me put it this way. Momoa is pretty much the best person they could get to play.
Like, here, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
You can really tell their intentions by how they react to the backlash. If they say, hey, guys, it may not be what you want, but we feel that he or she is the best actor for the role, so please give it a chance. Please have an open mind.
Yeah.
If they do that, but what the problem what they do is they instantly go to the, oh, you're racist. You're a racist person. You can just tell that they just play the race card, and it's not about an open dialogue. It's more control.
Okay. But yes, so that's all I'm going to say on that. But the point is, fantastic news for Shazam 2. It makes me I was still gonna go watch it because I like Shazam 1. I like DC.
Yeah, I was already planning to as well. So.
But this makes me like, oh my gosh, yes, baby. Particularly if this could be the last time we see these people in the roles. So it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's a nice send-off. And apparently she is still gonna be in the Flash too. So it's not gonna be the last time we see Gal as Wonder Woman, even if this is the last one.
Hopefully the Flash doesn't land on her boobs again.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what happens. But all right, so moving on to our next topic. All right, so before we get to Mandalorian, I figured that who's Opala?
I have no clue who that is. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
That's the problem, Yusuf, is that you're casting now really well-known actors as characters that
too obscure.
Yeah, two obscure characters. You can't. That's like casting Henry Cavill as a different character because people can be like, "Oh, that's a definite downgrade if no one's heard of the character."
At least Captain Britain.
Oh, Apollo.
Apollo as an Apollo and Midnighter. Yeah, that's fine. I could see him as Apollo.
The thing with casting Henry Cavill as Captain Britain is actually a very big character. Like, like. He's Captain America level in terms of importance in the MCU. He's basically the Captain America of Britain. He's Captain Britain,
Once again, no one's heard of Captain. The general audience haven't heard of Captain Britain. Comic book fans, yeah.
I mean, then I'm gonna pull out the same argument that everyone else uses in this instance: Guardians of the Galaxy.
But here's the thing: do you trust modern creatives to handle that well? Because you have to have a good creative in order for that to work. And I don't think
the thing about Captain Britain is he actually does have a very unique backstory. You know, like there's magic involved. Like literally, he gets his suit from Merlin. You know.
Yeah, I know that, but the problem is, again, I repeat my same statement.
I'm just throw this out there.
Yeah,
a Captain Britain movie directed by Kevin Branagh.
I don't know who Kevin Branagh is, but okay.
He's the guy who directed Thor 1. Also, Gilderoy Lockhart. He's also Gilderoy Lockhart.
Okay.
You're like, oh, is this a Harry Potter reference? I'm too normie to understand.
If it is, I saw the Harry Potter movies long ago, and I haven't watched them since because I don't like them. That's just my thing. I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, and the thing is that if he plays the other, let's say he stays in DC. If he plays another Superman-like character, that's still going to be like, everyone's going to be like, why isn't he? If he's playing a character that's basically another version of Superman, guess what? Everyone's going to be like, if you're going to cast him as basically Superman, why didn't you keep him as Superman?
And then there's also the issue is Henry Cavill is not someone that you can just kind of like push around. He left The Witcher, you know, and like he knows his worth now. And plus, he's been spurned by Warner Brothers like twice. It's gonna be very like you think he's just gonna like accept a pity casting, you know? Literally the only way they're gonna get him back is he has to play Superman. They have to guarantee him movies, and they have to pay him a frick ton of money.
And then Brown Destroyer says, I think you misunderstood me. I was talking about Sarah Gray as MCU Captain Marvel, who played Star. Oh, yeah, because the JSA did show up in Legends of Tomorrow. It was a different JSA.
It has been so long since I've seen that episode.
Yeah, me
I
too.
cannot remember her at all.
Yeah, Sarah Gray can pull it off.
Let me pull up a picture of her.
What about Sasha Grey?
Excuse me, Mom.
Oh, she could pull it off. She could pull it off. Hang on.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Okay, Nick, stop.
All right, so I can't see her clear. Can you?
Okay, hang on. She could pull off Carol.
I mean, looks wise, sure, but I have no clue about her acting. So
yeah, I think I've seen her in other stuff. I haven't seen her like in a battle role or something like that. And Yusuf, yeah, we got you before. I understand Apollo, but the problem with that is that, again, if he's cast another Superman role, then Warner Bros. Is going to run into the question of, if you're going to cast him basically as Superman, why didn't you keep him as Superman? That's my issue with him being cast as Apollo.
And you run into the same issue over in the MCU if you want to cast him as like Hyperion, Sentry. It's just a Superman ripoff. It just feels kind of cheap. At least Captain Britain is different enough that he's his own character, and honestly, I think Henry Cavill was perfect for that role, regardless.
And David, the reason why Brie Larson won an Oscar is not because of artistic talents, because arguably she doesn't have it, but the reason why they did it is just for political reasons. No, I've seen Brie Larson in other movies. The only one I enjoyed her in was Kong Skull Island. That's it.
Wait, Brie Larson was in Kong Skull Island?
Yeah, she was the photographer.
I will say this though. I did enjoy her in Scott Pilgrim, but she was playing like a nasty bee. So it's like
that could be why. Speaking of which, okay, you know what?
Very in character.
Wait, hang on. That's as great as a transition as I'm going to get to this next topic. So the Marvels. So there was a rumor. I'm going to change this. Nick, actually, do you want to talk about the recent rumors about Brie?
So, basically, the report can be summed up like this: Captain Karen is being a Karen. So
hey, you stole my bid.
You're welcome. Oh, okay. Credit to JJheat for the bit. All right. Okay, fine.
Thank you.
But anyway,
all right. Now we can do it. All right. So report came out that
Brie Larson mad.
that she was angry that the Marvels was called the Marvels instead of Captain Marvel 2, and that apparently she has she's having a bit of a spat with her other with the woman that plays Monica Rambeau, because apparently the movie has to be about her at all times.
I think here's the problem: is she knows that her movie isn't really that popular, and I think even internally, you can tell she's really not that popular.
Oh yeah,
because like remember how they said, oh, she's gonna be key to defeating Thanos and Endgame. Like she had her moment. Like admittedly, it was a cool moment where she like took down the thing, and you know. But Thanos just barely
her away. By the way, remember, they actually said she was going to be the face of the MCU after Endgame. I don't see her being the face.
And also, I think a lot of the problem, and the thing is, I'm kind of reading between the lines here, honestly, is I feel like she knows that the Monica Rambeau character was a lot better received. And I feel like maybe there's some rumblings that like maybe they intend to have Monica take over. Like this might be like,
please,
because I feel like Marvel, like, because here's the thing. Come on, in this progressive era, don't you think they would love to like take a role inhabited by a white person and replace it with a black person? And but better yet, this character is more well liked than anybody. Anyway,
and the fans. The fans, even in the comics fans like Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel more than Carol as Captain Marvel.
And even the people who hate Marvel and Captain Marvel will be like, oh yeah, Monica Rambeau, I liked her better, you know. Like literally,
WandaVision, baby.
It's a freebie. It is a free. It's like it makes sense in the world, you know, from the progressive logic.
Yeah,
but also from business sense, like, oh, we can replace we can literally up our diversity quota. And people will cheer for us.
Yeah, and Kevin Feige does what the fans want for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, and that's why I think he got the internal numbers, and it was okay.
If he did what the fans want, Captain Marvel would have never come
Nick,
out.
stop interrupting me. When after Endgame, when he saw the reception to Carol, and he saw the overwhelmingly positive reception to Monica, he was like, okay, okay, so there's because he's a comic book fan. I've said this for the longest time. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, wait a second. Historically, fans like Monica as Captain Marvel. Why don't we just have Carol like go away, or better yet, have Carol be Ms. Marvel, even though it's inhabited by the girl. But still, they could turn her into the actual Ms. Marvel.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want to happen, okay? Monica Rambeau becomes Captain Marvel, but not before Carol Danvers. She comes across this woman named Rogue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have Captain, Brie Larson leave, you got to have her powers taken away and given to Rogue first. I'm sorry.
And then you could put her in the coma and just never wake her up in the show. That's it. That's all you got to do.
I mean, you can put her on ice, and then basically what you could do if you want to bring her back, maybe I don't know, because I like the girl who plays Ms. Marvel. By the way, I actually did finish Ms. Marvel, and I actually really liked it.
Show. I love Iman Vellani as Kamala. But by the way, here's what you do it, Nick. First off, here's what I would do. I would straight up recast Carol, and here's how you do it. You do it like that version was a Skrull, because they're coming up on, guess what? Secret Invasion.
Can we? I'm sorry, but like
Master Sergeant, what's up, dude? First off, Master Sergeant, how do you like Gal Gadot being back in Shazam?
I just gotta say the Secret Skull plot, excuse it's getting cliche at this point. So I'm like,
well, this is the first time they're doing it in the MCU, Nick. So they could use this to fix a lot of mistakes in the MCU.
I will say this, Brie Larson, if you happen to be watching this
somehow, oh yeah, cry me a freaking river.
Here's how I would do it. Battle with Rogue. Basically, not only did her powers get drained, she got beat to a bloody pulp. So the fact that they had to do facial reconstruction on her,
there you go,
and then bam, different actress.
And by the way, my Master Sergeant, it was confirmed in a TV spot. Like they actually showed her face and had her speak in the TV spot.
Show the picture.
All right. I just closed it so I can.
I mean, like, it says a lot about what Marvel what the MCU thinks of Brie Larson when she's not getting it straight. Because, like, if Captain Marvel was really this really important character, they would have made it a Captain Marvel 2. They would have straight up done it. The fact that they need to bring in the other two characters, the one who are objectively better liked, you know.
By the way, I think Yusef is delayed a little bit in watching the stream because I thought we were done with this.
Oh,
Yeah,
also,
catch up.
Speaking of delaying, remember, the Marvels has been delayed 5 times at this point, and they're still, you know, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah. So what I think they're doing is they're reportedly they're changing it to like minimize Brie Larson's role and how holds up Iman Vellani. In other words, they're taking the character that people like. They're taking the characters, mind you, that people like, and elevating their role as opposed to Carol, and they're minimizing her role. Because let's face it,
just kill Brie Larson off in the second act. Easy fix.
Yeah, have Rogue show up in the second act. There you go. You're done.
Oh wait. Here's the thing. What if the villain is like one of the plot points is Rogue? Like literally, it's because mutants are starting to appear. You know, mutants are starting to appear. You know, like Namor, Ms. Marvel. Namor was always a mutant, so I don't care about that. But like Ms. Marvel being a mutant, I don't know.
Well, the funny part about that, Nick, is that remember there was a period in Marvel where they were trying to replace the X-Men with the Inhumans, and now they're doing the opposite in the MCU. That's why it's kind of humorous when they make her a mutant.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
If I can be honest, ultimately, it's just kind of pedantic whether she's a mutant or an Inhuman because
the same thing.
The Ms. Marvel here is not even the same character. Like she doesn't even have really the same powers.
And she's a more tolerable version of the character.
That's definitely for sure.
So
like,
they've
changed
so much about Ms. Marvel that like making her a mutant, it's kind of stupid, but ultimately it's like whatever.
But yeah, so
but Namor's always been a mutant, so that's whatever.
Namor's always been. I think I liked Namor in Black Panther 2 because they made him less of a douche.
Character-wise, I liked him. The fact that he's like, I'm Namor, and they
that's just the way he pronounced it. It wasn't like they actually changed the Namor.
Well, they pronounced it. He pronounced it really freaking stupid. And I didn't like the fact it's like. I understand they probably changed a lot of it because Aquaman, but like just doing Aztec, it's just I don't know.
Well, then how about this? Don't use Namor. I can solve your question right there.
But then you reach a point where it's like, who cares? Because Namor is literally one of the first original. Namor is literally older than Captain America.
No, I know that, but then why was Namor essential to the Black Panther movie?
It's kind of a Deathstroke versus Deadpool situation.
All I'm saying is that there was no reason for him to be the villain in that. I'm saying you could.
To be fair, in the comics, Namor and Wakanda do come to blows a lot. So there is some precedence in the comics because basically it's a lot easier to have two fictional nations fight each other because then you don't have to go into real world politics. So in the comics, they do go against each other a lot. So I'm trying to be fair.
True. Well, you could have just kept the whole U.S. government is like trying to exploit. Well, the world is trying to exploit vibranium because that was actually a very interesting plot.
I will say the whole U.S. plot was so superfluous. I mean, I do actually like the fact like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character has been kind of like mysterious kind of thing, and the fact that revealed like she's kind of like the CIA director and she's like the ex-wife.
I swear. I'm telling you, she's going to be a Skrull. That's a Jared prediction.
I don't like the whole who's a Skrull thing because it just feels honestly just tired
It was annoying.
The show was coming out, so they're going to answer that question eventually, Nick.
It was annoying then. It was during the original comic book event. It's annoying now.
I'm just saying, since we haven't gotten Secret Invasion yet, and that's the next project, I'm just speculating who could be a Skrull. And it makes sense because she's trying to sabotage Earth's defenses.
I think she's going to... Well, the thing is, he's putting together the Thunderbolts. That's the thing. Because remember, he was in Falcon Winter Soldier, and he recruited Yelena to kill Hawkeye. I really honestly... I think he's going to be the one to basically bring together the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, and she could use that as an anti-Avengers team.
Yeah. Or just a government... Because if the government can't control the Avengers, they create their own team, which, the government has done that multiple times.
Oh, speaking of which, by the way, there was some more information coming out about the Ayer cut. Superman's death played into it in no way. It was just, how Bruce is bringing together the Justice League. The government was just bringing together its own super team. It's not like they link it to Superman's death inspired the Suicide Squad. That's how changed that movie was.
I mean, it's very clear it got changed drastically.
It's bad when they hire a trailer company to cut the movie together.
Well, the thing is, the movie, the original trailer, which was the Ayer cut, got kind of muh reaction. But then they cut that trailer to Bohemian Rhapsody, and everyone just went nuts to that trailer. And remember, this is during the Hamada John's regime, and they were idiots. So oh look, that thing's popular. So they wanted to make it their Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why did you say that name?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I deserve that.
I knew you were going to tell me JJheat to use the clip. I knew it.
I deserve that. So
I think we're going to get the Ayer cut at any point. But anyway, so I think that's good enough for this stuff.
Do you have a Joker clip on you, Jared? Because I feel like you do.
I feel like this.
No, I don't know if I deserve applause.
All right, so now let's talk about. Do you guys want to talk about my other two DC topics first, or you want to go to Mandalorian?
Before we do Mandalorian, I want to talk about my thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Before that. Oh, so we're doing this right now?
Yeah, we can do it right now, but make it quick because I got some topics to get through.
All right, so I finally got around to seeing Wakanda Forever, and it's not as bad as people say it is, but it is in no way good. I ultimately give it. One. Yeah, the first one is better. It's a 7 out of 10 movie. It's definitely probably one of the better recent Marvel movies, though. To be fair, that's a very low bar. Yeah, I don't like how they handled Namor. Character-wise, I think he was good. I think the characterization of Namor was pretty good. Okay, now he's got me saying it. It had potential. It made me feel things in parts, and I actually like the slower, somber pace. There's positive things to say about it, but ultimately, it's just it was okay. It was decent,
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's elevated when compared to the rest of Phase 4.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All
right.
right.
That's all I got to say about that.
So before we since David has to go, I just want to get your opinions on this. So we got the new Wonder Woman creative team.
Fail.
Dead on arrival.
I mean, no. Okay. See, here's the thing. Here's what he's gonna do. Here's what TomKing is gonna do. He's gonna characterize Wonder Woman as either his. In other words, he's gonna write because the way TomKing writes female characters is. It's like he's inspired by he writes them like they're his wife or like his daughter or his mom. In other words, he's inspired by them.
He must really hate his wife in that case.
Yeah, I know. Judging by how he reacts, but go ahead, JJheat.
Okay, to make it a long story short, this is basically his version of Amazon's Attack. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Elon.
So basically, the plot is, everyone, that an Amazon supposedly mass murders Americans. So the American people, the American government passes the Amazon extradition act, which basically means that all Amazons are no longer welcome in America, which makes Wonder Woman a a fugitive. Here's my problem with that. Wonder Woman has recently saved the multiverse. Yeah, you're going to ban Wonder Woman? Are you kidding me?
This is a plot that only this is a plot so bad only Tom King would think it's good.
No, what the problem is, it's not. It would be one thing if she didn't just save everyone. And also, David brings up a good point. Why so many legislation stories? Because
my government good. My government is untouchable. I'll serve my government.
It's fine, but here's the thing: Supergirl is not a drunk. That's the other thing. It's a wholly like.
I feel like Supergirl World of Tomorrow was a space Viking adventure.
Mm-hmm. It would have been there were other DC characters he could have done. He could write a good Guy Gardner, but no. Why not make her fight cool stuff? I know, right? Why not? Well, but here's the thing: Tom King is following up on Clunerad, so I think so you can't get any worse than Clunerad.
I mean, it's still going to be a relative improvement, but that is still a very, very low bar.
Why not have her bring peace? There's just so many ways to take Wonder Woman. I know, but it's just she just saved the world, and you're going to make her a fugitive? Are you kidding me?
That's just bad writing.
I swear.
You need that clip. You need that clip.
Wait. I swear. If he has one of the Justice League members show up to combat to bring Wonder Woman in, I'm gonna blow a gasket live on stream.
Watch, it's gonna be Superman, and he's gonna act totally out of character.
He's gonna act like Dark Knight Returns Superman. I thought Tom King was an average, boring writer. I did like Batcat. I will give you that. I just completed reading that. It was actually pretty cool. I like Batcat.
So would you say that if they went Batcat over Super Wonder, you'd be okay with that?
Oh yeah. Wait. What do you mean by that?
Oh, okay, sorry. I was trying to do something, but I realized my stupidity. I'm sorry. I roll it back.
Because I would take Batcat over Wonder Bat any day.
Grrr!
I think he wanted some people could buy easily. Yeah, and that's my problem with Tom King. He doesn't write the characters as they are. To Wally West. Jeez.
Okay, first of all, we don't talk about Heroes in Crisis. Second, Tom King is such an Alan Moore wannabe. It's not even funny. You can't write deconstruction stories, dude. Get over yourself.
Yeah. So it's because DC has been trying to copy off the success of Alan Moore's Watchmen for so long. They literally did a sequel to the book.
Even Alan Moore is not really even Alan Moore anymore.
See you, brother. Bro, the Flash. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Jeremy Adams
is not writing the Flash anymore.
Wait, what book did Jeremy Adams get transferred to? I know it wasn't Superman.
Let me see. Is the Tom King Superwoman comic good? I know he.
It's okay. It's okay. I give it a 6. It does drag towards the end, but by that point, at least it's over.
All right, so I'm pulling up the news to see if okay. But I will say Hawkgirl is getting her own series, so I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Hey, what's up, PK? What's up?
What's up, PK?
Hey, by the way, PK, I love your review of Screecher. I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you for giving us a cameo. That was fun. Okay, so the Flash is being written by Simon Spurrier and art by Mike Deodato Jr. I like Deodato Jr.'s art, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and then at least we have information on Wonder Woman, so I'm like, okay. But we also have Hawkgirl. For some reason, Hawkgirl is going to go to Metropolis.
Is this like a crossover story, or
no? It's just so the Justice League is disbanded, so she decides to go to Metropolis for some reason. I only bought an issue of Superwoman from the Comic-Con last week just to sell it one day. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let me put it this way. I'm a little bit optimistic because of Clunerad not being put on the book anymore. I am concerned. However, I do like the artist. They got the artist for Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Daniel C. Empre, I think is the way you pronounce his name. So that's not entirely that. Best Supergirl stories is the 80s run. James Gunn should have picked up a storyline for that. It's because Tom King addressed this on the Comic Pop podcast. He said that was what that's what, and this is something very dangerous. This is something very sad. This is what he literally said, because James Gunn came to him and said, this is what I want to do with Supergirl. Like, you want Supergirl to be a drunk? Good job, man. I don't know. So, let's talk about, one more DC topic, and then we'll get to Mando, because this Nick had an interesting thing to say. Nick, you want to bring it up?
All right. So first off, I think you should explain what's actually going on. Then I'll get to my point.
Okay. So it came out today that Batman: The Cape Crusader, in other words, the new Batman animated series, it was being shopped around for a while since it was announced it wouldn't be on HBO Max. So essentially, it's going to go onto Amazon Prime for 2 seasons. In other words, it has a 2-season order, depending on how well it does. It could do more. But my point is, they licensed the Batman product to another streaming service. Nick, go on.
All right. So this is a shout out to all of you sell Snyderverse to Netflix people. This is another arrow in your quiver. All right. Well, yes, exactly. Well, here's a problem. If you sell it to Amazon, there will be no Snyder, and there is no Snyderverse without Zack Snyder. Okay, because Zack Snyder is contractually bound to Netflix. So if you sell it to Amazon, Zack Snyder would have a harder time working on it if he'd be able to work on it at all. Versus if you sell to Netflix, then basically Zack Snyder can have basically control of everything. Mm-hmm. So I will say this just gives more proof that if WB wanted to, and honestly, I've heard enough for like the Netflix side, they would love, I think I've heard some rumors that they would love something like this, and they're fully willing to like put the money and the resources. Really, the problem is Warner Brothers, or I guess maybe James Gunn, but I don't know. I really think the holdout is on the WB side, but we'll see, because if Zaslav really start hurting for money, I could see him agreeing to this thing.
Oh yeah, I guarantee if it comes down to it, I think Zaslav would tell Gunn, if this is an easy way to make money, because you have to understand, whichever streaming service would be paying for the rights to put these projects on their streaming service, if our good friend Zaslav is that strapped for money, he'll go for it.
Also, Brown Destroyer, to talk about more universal audience. Netflix is literally the #1 streaming service. It is the top of the hill. If you look at the top 10 streaming shows, literally 8 of them are Netflix.
And Brown, here's the thing. Yeah, that's true, but he has one boss, David Zaslav, and Zaslav could say, "Hey, guess what? You're doing this because guess what? We need the money."
Well, no. What'll happen is David Zaslav will say, "This is happening. Deal with it."
Yeah, because guess what? Yeah, he's in charge of DC, but he's got one boss. The only person ahead of him is David Zaslav, and we've seen Zaslav himself has done some really crazy stuff to save money. Batgirl.
The only thing I can see is because I feel like if it did happen, James Gunn would probably have either influence to oversee it, and he might try to derail the project. But I can kind of see in that circumstances that they just kind of sidestep him and just appoint someone else to oversee it, or you just report directly to basically it's just point of go between Netflix and Warner Brothers.
I think what would probably happen is that all James Gunn would have to do is just say, "Hey, listen, people, this has nothing to do." He would go on to social media and say, "Hey, we're doing this with Zach. It's not canon to my universe. So whatever you see in there, do not carry that to my universe." Which is
what we expected to happen anyway. So
well, here's the thing. Yes, and we know he will do that, and we know that's a good option, and we know that I mean, he's been on. He clears up stuff on social media for forever. So he'll be set. So the whole thing about how audience confusion and competition. No, all he has to do is say no. This is only on the streaming service. He could say, but you can only put on the streaming service. Which okay, that's fine.
And here's the
problem is not Saffron. The problem is not Saffron.
And here's kind of the thing. James Gunn has publicly stated he is friends with Zack Snyder. So James Gunn kind of has an incentive not to foobar the production because this stuff kind of tends to leak out, and there's only so much you can say on Twitter before he's like, okay, you're saying one thing, but we're obviously seeing something else.
Particularly with the history of the Snyderverse.
Yeah. And plus, honestly, with it being a separate universe, and literally there's nothing Zack can do that would really like harm James Gunn stuff, I think James Gunn can very easily just kind of be like, okay, they're doing their thing. It's literally a separate universe, you know.
And then this would be a fantastic way, because he still has to authorize it. This would be a fantastic way for him to kind of bury the hatchet about the whole, even if it's just for one Justice League movie. He could say, you know what? I know that you guys were disappointed about Henry Cavill. So to ease that, I'll give you this. How's this? And that'll be a great way to bury the hatchet and say, you know what? Okay, I'll give you guys this.
I can fully imagine James Gunn being resistant to this and probably using his influence to block it. But I also see a situation where once it happens and David Zaslav tells him to fall in line, he will.
Oh,
because once it's a done deal, like literally he gains nothing by foobarring the production, and if anything, he runs more risk.
If anything, it damages the DC brand, so don't do it. Plus, again, well, here's the thing too. I don't think he would get necessarily involved because the DC project that they are that spinoff of Doom Patrol, he said it doesn't affect my universe. So
wait, they're doing a spinoff of Doom Patrol?
That they are, I think, are licensing to another streaming service. But my point
What's
is,
the spinoff? Like I
forget what it's called. My point is, they're doing something, and James Gunn just said, I don't think he would be like reticent to do it because he has said it's just more DC projects in line. And if like this way, it's not going to be like the Batfleck movie, Man of Steel 2. It's not going to be like all these projects. The most we would probably get is Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and maybe 3 if we're lucky, if they film it back to back, but most likely just 2. And they could just end it there. In other words, they'll make it a big movie or like a mini series and just wrap it up. That's honestly, likely what we'll get.
Knowing Zack Snyder's penchant for going on forever, honestly, I think the best bet is to do like Zack Snyder's Justice League and do 2 or 3 seasons of it and do like 8 episodes because the thing is, the Netflix format is actually particularly advantageous for Zack Snyder because he could literally do an 8-hour Justice League movie, as long, you know, and that would be fine.
And Nick, the Doom Patrol spinoff was called the Dead Boy Detectives. So, in other words, that's a project that he said it's going to other streaming services because it doesn't like align with what I want to do for DC.
Can we please sell Stargirl? Like, why couldn't we sell Stargirl to Amazon?
Probably because he has plans for the JSA, maybe because remember he said less than half of this of Chapter 1 have been revealed.
It's just that show was just getting good, and it would have been perfect for Amazon or Netflix.
I agree with you, Nick, but
I mean, I get it. It is what it is, you know, but still.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I think it's more. Let me put it this way. Okay. I think I'm 100%. I'm about an 80% sure they're going to license it somehow. 80% sure. 100% sure the story will be completed in some form. Whether that's comics, animation, or something like that. But I'm about 80% sure they will at some point license it because guess what? They're licensing. Plus, here's the thing, Nick. Dead Boy Detectives. The one thing people were saying when we were pointing to this is like that's a low IP. Batman, baby. This is a Batman project that they're licensing. That's really key here.
It's also animation, which Zaslav has shown that he doesn't really care much about animation. That's also something to take into consideration.
True.
As far as the likelihood, I still think it's very unlikely. I kind of feel like it's clinging to a false hope, but there are some good signs, and we'll see what happens. But that's just my opinion.
All right, that's fine. You can have your own opinion. Let's hope you were as right on this as you were about Gal Gadot.
If it happens, I was about to say, you be kind of silent.
This is the way.
This is the way.
By the way, Nick, if it happens, you're gonna come on the stream and eat crow in front of me.
Gladly.
That's what she said.
Nick, JHeat, stop! Even I'm getting annoyed right now.
Okay, I'm going to put this on the record right now. If it happens.
First off, if it happens, that's an emergency stream, baby. We're doing it that night.
Oh my god, I have to. No. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to buy fake crow feathers. Okay, like I'm going to go to the hobby store, and either it's just fine or stuff that looks like crow feathers, and I will eat them. Like just put them on my mouth and chew.
As long as they're edible, please. I don't want to. I don't want you to get sick or anything.
Or at least put them in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
That's what she said. There you go.
Like you want me to eat crow? I will do. That's what I will do.
Yeah, and that will be an emergency stream if that happens. I'm sorry, we're not waiting unless it happens on a Friday. In which case, yeah, we'll just do it Comics League Dark. But if it's any day other than a Friday, we're doing a stream about it. And then if it's animated, it's actually, I want the realistic look. I'm telling you, like those gameplay teasers, yeah, or just Love, Death, and Robots, baby. If you've seen that animation style, they could do that.
I'm thinking Castlevania. That's what I want.
Castlevania was pretty solid too. Not gonna lie.
No, but here's the thing with Love, Death, and Robots, it literally looks like live action. You can just
what if it's arcane though? What if it's the arcane style?
No, because you want to make it as realistic as possible because that way it looks less of a compromise.
No. Hear me out. It's arcane, but it looks like an Alex Ross painting come to life.
No, I know, Nick, but the problem is that you have to have
gorgeous!
it. Nick, let me finish. You have to have it actually look like the actors, so it looks less like a compromise. More people.
I don't know, but like just imagine. But it looks like it's the likeness of the characters.
No, I got it, but here's the thing. You have to make it so it's less likely the people are like, no, I don't want it to animation. We're losing what we wanted. It's less likely if they do it the Love, Death, and Robot style. That's
if they do it the Love, to be fair, if they do it the Love, Death, and Robot, right, those same people are going to be saying the same thing anyway. Like,
yeah, but they're going to have a lot less legitimacy, particularly if they face scan all the actors.
I don't think the percentage, I think it's going to be roughly the same amount of people.
All right, whatever. The point is, I would prefer as the Love, Death, and Robots group.
Well, that's your opinion. I'm just disagreeing.
I'm going to say the Snyderverse will be on Amazon with Zack Snyder. Just to
I don't
think so. I don't think Amazon. No, don't do Amazon because let's say it happens with Amazon, we got to wait for Zack Snyder to be done with Netflix.
Yep, because remember, there is no Snyderverse without Zack Snyder. So basically, what happens if you sell to Amazon? Zack Snyder will be minimally involved at best possible scenario.
And then James Gunn will be in charge of directing the Snyderverse. Do you really
and
want
it's like,
that?
what's the point of doing a Zack Snyder movie without Zack Snyder?
Exactly, that's never going to happen. So anyway, back to so I think that's a good place to leave this topic.
Remember, Amazon is really a woke company versus Netflix. While they do woke, they're also a little more open. They care about money.
Yeah, we're leaving this. I agree with you, Nick. But moving on to our last topic. All right, I'm going to play a clip that's going to basically indicate what we're talking about.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
So Mandalorian Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2. And by the way, okay, so for right now, the way we're going to cover Mando Season 3 is on this show. If you guys want, I'm giving the decision to you guys in the chat. If you guys want, we can make this a separate show. In other words,
maybe
it will release episodically as the episodes come out. Probably
maybe do like a poll on your channel or something. Maybe
I think I did that, or no, I haven't. I'll do a poll on the thing. on the what's the word? I did a post on my community tab, but I can change it here. But I have some heavy Star Wars opinions. Okay. But once again, if you guys want this to be a regular show on Comics League, in other words, one of the weekly shows, that's totally fine. Just let us know. Or if you'd prefer it, just do it on Comics League Dark. That's fine.
Yeah. The issue is it can't be like a regular show all the time because like it really depends on what's playing, like Mandalorian or like a Marvel show or whatever. So like basically whenever a major show comes, we do recaps of it.
Yeah, it'll be our recap show, but we'll call it Comics League Recaps. All right.
That works.
Yeah. What day does Mando comes out on Wednesday? But what we would do is the show we'd probably record that night, and then the episode would come out on Thursday.
Yeah.
So that'd be what we're doing. But anyway, so Mando season 3. All right. So far I'm enjoying this season a lot, even though Cara Dune is not in it, which I'm like, okay, I get it.
I did hear somewhere that like apparently, and this is before I went in and saw this, and this thankfully didn't happen. Was like the way they explained her away was like, oh, she's not here because she said something wrong. Like they were lampshading it. But honestly, I feel like the way they explained it was about as fair as you could do given the circumstances. Yeah. Like, she got recruited for special forces, whatever. Like, okay, fair enough.
Okay, that works for the character. So I'm like, okay. But anyway, so what do you guys think so far? Because I got some words, particularly episode 2. Good words. But I'm saying my thoughts are primarily on episode 2.
I do feel like there is kind of conflicting motivations. When we get to episode 2, I'll also have some words. I feel like okay, overall, I feel like you can tell that the sequel writers have their hands on the show now. Because, like, it almost feels like kind of a different show. Like, it has a lot of the same plot contrivances that, overall, I liked it. I'm just going to say that. Mm-hmm. But it has a lot of the same overall plot contrivances that the sequel has. Like, oh, I need to get IG-88. I need to get this part. Oh, let me go to Tatooine. Oh, they don't have a part. Oh, and then they literally start a plot. They use a plot to get where they want to go, and then they drop it. It's bad.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that part. That's a ding I'll give it for this one.
Also, and this is something that like it could change. Grogu is literally there is no point in Grogu being here. Like, I'm sorry.
Really not.
By hot takes, we've been going for about an hour. Yeah, I mean he's there for cuteness. That's why.
But it just you have to write around him, and it just.
Well, because remember he's a foundling now, so he's a Mandalorian now.
But I get that, but like characters need to exist to serve the plot, and he is not like. And this may change. I'm going to go out and say that as this may be a thing as the story goes along, he becomes more relevant. But in terms of these first 2 episodes, outside of that one moment in part 2, which could have been done by. Like, there's other ways of writing that thing. There's no point to him being there. He's literally just background.
Arguably, he was the... Well, actually, no, he... I don't know. We'll see. I think they'll give it more of a... I think that they'll give him more of a role in, like, later episodes. Because, remember, we're still really early in the season, so...
Like, I'm reserving the right to be wrong.
I appreciate that. But what I love about this season, it's going so deep into Mandalorian lore. Like, oh my gosh. Episodes 1 and 2, I'm loving that because I've been very vocal on the show. I'm a huge Mandalorian like geek. Hell, I did an entire deep dive with my co-author about Mandalorian lore in the show once.
You need to like get your own Mandalorian armor.
I plan on doing that. But anyway, because I think they're the biggest badasses in Star Wars. I mean, dude, this show is this is the most focused this show has been on Mandalorian lore in a long time, and you know what? I am here for it. Like,
so what you're saying is this is the most a show called The Mandalorian has been about Mandalorians.
Yeah, because here's the thing: previous 2 seasons was just space cowboys, pretty much. I loved it. But that's pretty much what it was. This is Mandalorian, baby. to the point where, but I was I the only one that was getting Clone and JJheat, you can back me up on this because Nick hasn't watched Clone Wars, but am I the only one that was getting Clone Wars flashbacks in episode 2 where he goes to that Mandalorian like city?
Oh, definitely for Mandalore.
All right, Nick, have you seen any of the Clone Wars episodes of the future Mandalorians?
I've seen clips. Like I know about like Maul, and I know a bunch of the stuff about Bo-Katan. Like
okay, good.
I know like the 1,000-foot overview of what happened. Like,
well, the reason why I'm asking is because you
one
know what
warrior to another, and the winner shall rule all of Mandalore.
Yeah, but the reason I'm asking Nick is that you know how that place is supposed to look, right?
Not exactly.
All right, it's supposed to. So this is what the Mandalorian capital originally looked like because we went there in Clone Wars.
I think multiple times, right?
Many times. In fact, we went
there in Rebels as well.
The last arc is extremely. I mean, Siege of Mandalore, baby. This
and
is
wasn't one of the seasons of Rebels like pretty much set entirely on Mandalore?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, here. This is what the city is supposed to look like.
Can you full screen that?
See,
that's a problem when you look things up in Google Image Search. It's very hard to see the pictures.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? It's less broken and put it that way. And I was like, oh, okay, I like that. What did you guys think of that creepy robot thing that abducted Mando?
That was creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my, yeah, because first off, that looks so cool, and the CGI actually looked pretty cool.
I will say this.
Yeah.
As much as I said about Grogu serving no purpose, as much as I said that, I will say, and this is the part that I was talking about, I actually really like the sequence because this is the first time that Grogu actually had to do something.
Yeah, I was about to when you.
And I gotta get some props for that. I gotta get some props for that.
When you were bringing up that point, Nick, that is legit. This is the part of the episode I was going to bring up. I was like, "What do you mean he goes against Bo-Katan?"
Yeah, like that one. Yeah, I'll give it props. That was that.
Oh, and
Grogu is being like. This is the one where it's like. Up until that point, he was window dressing, and I like that at this point he's not as much of a MacGuffin. He's not as much of a damsel in distress. He's an active engagement in the plot, at least as far as this is concerned, and I appreciate it and I respect it.
Yeah. By the way, I am going to get a hot toy of Mando and Bo-Katan. That will be happening. But anyway, I love. Speaking of Bo-Katan, I love her arc in these 2 episodes so far, and I think. Okay, so because remember, okay, so do you guys want to talk about what shows up at the end of episode 2?
No, I have some complaints.
Go ahead. About. And yes, hot takes. We did talk Wonder Woman in Shazam. Yes, we did.
I will say, so first off, I love Katie Sackhoff. I am a huge fan of hers. So like seeing her in this is amazing. I just don't like the sudden not a heel turn, but like, okay, that's the best way I can describe it, where it's like, he's like, go away, Mando, but instead, instantly she sees it, her entire character and demeanor changes. I feel like that was kind of too sudden of a shift. And I don't think, like,
well,
she's never really shown to care that much about Din. Like, I just,
she left as soon as she saw she was in trouble. She got in a ship and went to go save him.
That's my problem. Is I think she has a small amount of respect for him, both as a Mandalorian and as a comrade to some degree. But I don't think he's ever displayed that much of a admiration for him to just do that. Especially when she told him to buzz off first. And like, here's the
thing. It's in this is why I'm glad the show goes into Mandalorian culture, because it's part of Mandalorian culture that if a fellow Mandalorian is in danger, you drop everything under a code of honor and you go help that Mandalorian.
But let's be honest, the code of honor really means nothing to Bo-Katan.
Not necessarily.
Oh, hot takes. I was always planning on going to see Shazam. That was I was always.
Oh hell yeah, we were all very much, but this sweetens the deal significantly. And by the way, on hot takes, when you rewatch the stream, definitely watch the beginning where I rub it in Nick's face because he thought it was going to be a Faces cameo.
Yeah,
but anyway.
that's yeah, I earned that. So yeah.
But my point is, Nick. Okay, so here's what happened. Yeah, she was depressed because like her entire clan like abandoned her because she didn't have the dark, so she would turn off the dark saber. And then again, because remember in Mando season 1, episode 3, when he's in trouble, and then all those Mandalorians show up, which first off was like the first mind blowing moment of the show for me.
Yeah,
but that showed it's very much like part of Mandalorian. It's ingrained in them that it's not about honor. It's about just being a Mandalorian. You go and you help a Mandalorian who is in trouble.
Yes, but my argument is Bo-Katan throughout her whole thing has shown a very surface level regard for the Creed. Like even he like said like F the Creed. Like he's very dismissal about the Creed.
To
like,
be fair, I had to cut you off, Nick. To be fair, she was a radical who played right into Maul's hand with Death Watch and got her sister killed.
Well, no, that was Paz Vizsla. That was Paz Vizsla who did that, and then
she actually rebelled. But yeah, you have to actually take into account her appearances in other media too, because in Clone Wars she did the exact same thing.
And that's the thing, like literally, Maul engaged Paz Vizsla in single combat, and he defeated him honorably. He didn't even use the Force. By all rights of Mandalorian law, he rightfully won the throne.
But here's the thing: he wasn't a Mandalorian.
But by all rights, he's like the outsider thing is irrelevant. He followed all right. He did it honorably. But so like because the Death Watch. Here's the thing: if it really was, if the outsider thing was really that big of a deal, how come? Like, why did all those people instantly bow to Maul? Like, if it was really that big of a deal, that's the thing.
Because there's you're gonna have some that aren't very.
Most of them did. A lot of them didn't. But the ones that we saw didn't. But my argument is, if the outsiders rule, if that was even that big of a deal, it would have been a much more lopsided. If the Death Watchers were that adamant about the Creed, and if the outsiders was that big of a part of the Creed, why would they have done that? The Death Watch is fanatical. They are fanatical about the Creed. So if you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I got it. But going back to this, it's that I mean, I disagree with you on the Bo-Katan thing. I think it's a little.
You're welcome to disagree. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Because let me put it this way: I as someone that has seen like all of Clone Wars and Rebels, yeah, I'm taking into account like even her other appearances in the show. I'm taking into account like all the other times I've seen her, and she has. It's not even because here's the thing: she is devoted to per se Mandalorian. It's just she doesn't want to be like the radical that Din Djarin's group is. Because remember, it's well established that they are very radical versions. I mean, taking off the helmets and stuff. So that's where I think she's different. For the
Creed. So she's very like for example, the dark saber.
I wasn't finished.
Okay, go ahead.
But the part that I think she is very much like in line with is that you don't abandon a Mandalorian when he's in need.
And my argument is, while I'm not trying to say you're wrong about that being part of the Creed, my argument is Bo-Katan has always shown a fast and loose interpretation of the Creed. Take, for example, the Darksaber. The Darksaber is supposed to be won by combat.
Yeah.
Basically, so she let Sabine Wren give it to her in Rebels. Bo-Katan has proven throughout history that she is her own worst enemy.
But in Mando, she didn't. He tried to hand it to her and said, "I yield, take it." And she's like, she wouldn't take it.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm still saying is she has proven a fast and loose interpretation of the Creed. So it's like, I just don't think that much of a character shift.
Well, it's not that much of a character shift. I don't think to go, okay, you know what? A friend's in danger. How about I go help him? I don't think
Let's
that's
just
too
agree
much
to
of a
disagree on this one.
Okay, that's fine. But the point is, I like seeing her actually fight and her like talking about, we used to team up with the Jedi all the time. I like that because it's obviously a reference to Clone Wars.
Now that we've got like my complaints aside, what did happen that was actually really nice. It was like a mother taking her kid on a trip. Also, this is kind of going forward a little bit. Can we talk about her using the dark saber?
Yeah, so I was literally about to get, she's using it with the shield and everything.
Yeah. Also, the fact that she can wield it, like whip it around, whereas Din was like it's really heavy for him.
I think he's gonna eventually. This is a Jared prediction for the season. I think he's going to earn the right. I think that they're using it like a King Arthur like thing. We have to earn the right to use the sword like Thor's hammer. I think he's gonna earn. We'll see him, but by like the end of the season, using the dark saber like a boss.
Also, so I have a prediction. Okay, this is okay. Let's just get the like. So basically, going back to part 1. In order for him to be forgiven for removing his helmet, which, by the way, I need to go back to Book of Boba Fett. Like, her just asking for remove his helmet, that just came out of nowhere. That was a really stupid way of going about that. But, I just wanted to say that.
What?
In Book of Boba Fett, where, she just randomly asked him if he removed his helmet. There was no setup. There was no reason for her to ask that.
Well, because they were re-signing the creed. She asked that multiple times in Mando season 1.
I don't know. It just felt contrived. We need to get
what her character does whenever they meet for the first time after a while.
But this wasn't the first time. Like, he had been there for a while.
No, he just showed up on that space station in Boba Fett. He didn't know where she was. Remember, there's roughly about 2 years in between these appearances.
No, if you watch that space station sequence, he had been there for a few hours. Remember, he actually had a sparring session with her, where he was using her tools and taught about it before Paz Vizsla challenged him. And then after the challenge, that's when she asked him. So she had plenty of opportunity to do it before. So if you're doing it as she always asks it first, then it doesn't really work that way.
Oh, by the way, Hot Takes asked a question. What would you have done for a sequel that you would have gotten a little more excited? Have Black Adam be the villain?
Please.
That's about all I can put for that, nerd man.
I mean, also, can we have the talking tiger, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely, please.
Can we just go into the wackiness of Shazam? Like, I liked
if there's one character that has wackiness, it's Shazam.
Like, for example, I love the post-credit scene for Shazam where they tease a caterpillar.
Yeah, and they never use that. Mr. Mind. But anyway, back to Mando. All right, so he goes into the waters and he's reciting the creed. I like that. But then all of a sudden he gets sucked down into the water. So you're all like, what the hell is going on? So, by the way, they're basically talking about, they basically imply that Bo-Katan does not believe in any of this creed stuff because she's reading on the inscription that there was a mythosaur here. And the mythosaur, for those of you that don't know, is the being that the Mandalorian skull is based off of.
We need to rewind a little bit. So in order for him to be forgiven for his transgression, he needs to, the only way is to bathe in the waters, the living waters beneath the mines. But supposedly Mandalore is toxic, it's cursed. And so they go down there and they find out it's not toxic anymore, or never was.
That was the beginning of the episode, yeah. And but I can't say I like when he was walking around the surface of Mandalore. He kind of had a Darth Vader breathing thing going. I was like, oh,
well, that's because he thought he was toxic and he activated his mask.
I know, but I was just saying it's kind of cool as a reference that they had that sound because it reminded me of Darth Vader's breathing.
Fair enough. So here's my prediction about how so he needs to bring proof that he bathed in the living waters of Mandalore.
But
what better way to prove?
Wait. We haven't gotten there yet. Okay. So he gets sucked down into the waters. Bo-Katan dives in immediately to go save him, proving my point. She gets down there, and she's jetpacking back up with Din. All of a sudden, she sees something moving, and then she looks, and then the way that they do this is fantastic. The light illuminates, and it's a live mythosaur. So what I think Nick is going off of, he shows up.
Wait. Let me say my thing.
The problem is that he has to get it to the planet that the Mandalorians
To be
are on.
fair, that is the least of their worries.
True. He could just say, "Come to Mandalore. It's fine."
No, I guarantee what's going to happen is because slaying a mythosaur is a big deal in Mandalorian culture. What I think is going to happen is they're probably just going to hitch it up to a ship, and he's going to tow it. Imagine if he just
won't do that. That won't work in the Starfighter.
They get a ship big enough to carry it. Like I said, there's ways around it, you know. So he has to prove that he bathed in the living waters of Mandalore. So what he does is he goes back to the compound and he dumps the head out in front of them, and then he shows up, and like not only does it because the living waters, the mythosaur is in the living waters, so obviously not only did he bathe in it, he slayed a mythosaur, which is a big freaking deal. He's welcome back, but then he still spurns them.
No, they're not going to spurn him at that point.
No, he spurns them. He decides that he wants more than to be a child of the Watch.
Okay, if you want to talk about a heel turn, that would be a heel turn.
Like his basically his time spent with Bo-Katan, basically.
There would have to be a lot more season episodes in between that for that to happen. I highly doubt that. But here's what I think is going to happen. He's not going to kill it. They're going to show up on Mandalore. Somehow he'll get a signal out saying, "Come to Mandalore." He's gonna emerge riding the mythosaur. They reference it in every season of Mandalorian.
That's basically like they have to just hole up somewhere and wait for them to come. I don't know.
Well, because here's the thing, they reference multiple times even this season, Mandalore the Great riding the mythosaur. And again, if they want proof, he's riding a mythosaur. And he's wielding the Darksaber. He could be like, okay, you know what? Nah, I'm redeemed.
Counterpoint. They made a point in saying that radio contact on the surface of Mandalore is impossible. It's local communication only. So in order to get a signal out, they're gonna have to. Someone's have to go above the atmosphere.
Tell Bo-Katan to.
But if I don't know.
Tell Bo-Katan, fly up, call out the Mandalorians, have them come here.
I don't know. That just feels kind of contrived, honestly.
I'm saying the way that they have actually set up, he's not going to kill the mythosaur. There's no way he kills the mythosaur.
It just feels like contrived writing. Like, why would you call them here? Why don't you just escape, get out of there, or something?
It's contrived for him to even say, okay, you know what? I don't want to be in the Watch anymore.
Well, I was trying to say, like, he had such a big character arc with Bo-Katan that he realizes it's not for him. But like you said, there might not be enough episodes to set it up, so fair enough.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that if that were true with what we have, he wouldn't have gone into the waters. He would have just taken off his helmet and said, "Yeah, I'm done."
Well, what I'm saying is he does all that, and then he has like the character, like I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Why would he go into the water then if he was just if he?
I'm saying what I'm saying is that's his initial motivation, and what happens in the future, over the next few episodes or whatnot. Like what if the whole point of the season is he realizes it's not for him, the Watch, and he just kind of goes his own way.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But JJheat, what did you think about the season so far?
I think we lost him.
Oh, he's muted. JJheat, you're muted. If you can hear me, you are muted. But anyway, yeah. I think somehow they'll get the Mandalorians on Mandalore just to have him emerge riding the mythosaur. Or what he'll do, he'll leave. There'll be like something let me explain. Here's how he can do this. So what happens is he bathes, he leaves. Somehow he gets proof. Like he brings some of the water with him. Somehow he gets proof. Let's just go beyond that. He gets proof. He shows up and says, "Hey, Mandalore is not toxic. Let's round up the tribes and let's all go there and retake it." So I'm not done yet. Oh, jeez. Okay, you know what? Go ahead.
Just go ahead, brother.
Okay, so Then we have the. I lost it. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I lost it. I lost what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Well, I did too. So.
All right. Okay. You know what? I got it. So somehow we get the Empire there because the Empire probably controls Mandalore. The Empire. We have a battle of the Empire versus the Mandalorians, and then on the ground it's going bad for the Mandalorians, but like we have AT-ATs and such. And then he arrives on the Mythosaur, like he comes out of the ground.
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about it now. We haven't even seen the Empire at all this season. Like they have
True.
Like they haven't, so I don't think the Empire is really a factor this season because remember, the Empire is the remnant. The New Republic is, like the Imperial remnant. They're scattered, and I think this is actually post Battle of Scarif too. I think this,
could be.
So like,
okay,
not really.
The Imperial Warlord shows up.
Gideon was captured, and I'm pretty sure
not Gideon. There are other warlords in the Empire, dude.
I mean, possibly, but I feel like if the Empire were going to be a factor in the season, they would have already at least shown up.
I don't know, because it's only 2 episodes.
I think the pirates are definitely going to show up again. I think they're going to be more of an antagonistic force than the Empire.
That could happen. I could see that.
Oh,
the pirates show up.
So here's what I was thinking. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't slay the Mythosaur, but they get a tooth from it. Like they are able to get a tooth from the Mythosaur, and then they run. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then Mando goes back. That's his proof that he bathed in living waters. He has a Mythosaur tooth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's easy enough to carry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes back.
Well,
he shows it to them. He's forgiven, and he says, "I cannot slay. I barely got out alive. Will you help me slay the beast and retake Mandalore?"
He's not going to slay the beast. How many times do I have to say this? And second off, did you see how large that thing is? How is he going to get a tooth?
No. It's a lot easier in the struggle to like grab a tooth or something. Like,
No, but again, have you seen how huge that thing was?
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to like cut off a tooth or like for some reason he has a tooth,
Okay, then. I still don't think he's not going to want to slay the beast.
No, but he's trying to escape or, trying to like hurt, like wounded enough to get it off their back, and he gets a tooth. Basically, for me, he needs some reason, like he has something small enough to be proof, or maybe it's like the Darksaber cuts off a piece of the horn, or just something.
No, but my thing is that the reason why he rides it's like somehow they have a final battle. And then he rides the Mythosaur. The reason why you could do that is because you could set him up as the new Mandalore because he has the Darksaber as well.
Okay, let me just modify this then. They do get like the tooth, the piece of the horn, but they don't kill it. So he goes back to his tribe. He's forgiven, and then he goes back. He's like he basically the pirates once the word starts to get out that like maybe he does it and he's forgiven, and then he kind of does this thing. But then word starts to get out that Mandalore is safe, and now everyone's trying to get that. So he goes to his tribe to retake Mandalore because the pirates are already starting to raiding it, and then you get like they're trying to defend it from the pirates. So then you get that Mythosaur riding scene.
Okay, that's fine. I still don't think the tooth thing is a good idea, but I'll take that compromise.
The reason I say that is there needs to be some proof that like he was in the living waters.
Just bring some water back. And you can have Bo-Katan show up and say, yes, I was a witness. He was there.
But he is not a child of the Watch, and plus he's spurned. Like he's...
Okay, that's true. That's a good point.
Like that would be like OJ, testifying for your good character.
He does also have, I'd imagine he probably has a camera on his helmet cam.
They've never showed that. Like that'd be kind of one of those things where they just kind of pull it out of their butt. Like like you got to realize in writing there's setup and payoff. Okay, like for example, they set up the pirates. They set up IG-88. I'm convinced IG-88 is going to show up again because they would not set that up. Like for example, the Darksaber is going to be really important because they focused on it. This whole Mandalore stuff, like setup, payoff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like so.
But here's another question. Okay, if he cuts off the tooth, how is he going to prove that it's a mythosaur tooth?
It's obvious it's a mythosaur tooth or whatever.
How is it obvious? Because it looks like any other thing's tooth.
That thing's pretty big, and like it's pretty easy to tell the difference between a wolf's tooth and a tiger's tooth.
Okay, I still think that's really. I mean, I see it. It's an option. I think it has some holes in it, but I think it's not the most horrible option that you could go with.
I could say the same with the waters thing. Like, the thing is, they never said that there's anything special about the living waters. It's just the waters that run under the mines.
Yeah.
Like, what to say that it's not water from Scarif? Like.
Well, yeah. I mean, somehow he gets some proof.
Because
Let's just say
you
somehow
would probably,
he gets proof.
like, you would probably use the argument that like there's certain minerals or compounds. It's the same argument that I would use for the tooth, to be fully honest.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, let me put it this way. Either way, he's going to need some like weird way to get proof.
Let's disagree. He gets some sort of proof, whatever
he gets
it is.
some kind of proof, and then
even if it's camera, for the sake of argument, let's just say maybe even the camera.
Yeah, that's fine. But okay, so something happens, and then there's like a big battle in Mandalore. It doesn't matter. It's the Empire, it's the pirates. Something happens. He goes down. He emerges wielding, and at this point, he will have because what I'm thinking is that this is end of the season. It's like the final battle of the season. He will have earned the dark saber. So he's swinging that sword like Bo-Katan was, and he's riding the mythosaur. And at the end, they say, "You lead us."
I have an addendum.
Yeah.
What if at some point he loses the right to have his helmet, so he finds the helm of Mandalore?
Ooh.
So
I
it's
like
like
that.
because that actually shows his face, and so that's his new helmet is the helm of Mandalore.
I like that. That could work really well. And by the way, they're on Mandalore. They could show a Revan mask. Just saying.
Is that where it ended up? Was the Revan mask ended up in Mandalore? Because it was a Mandalorian mask.
I don't know, but here's the thing. I'm just saying. I'm trying to find ways for them to tease that Revan exists in this canon. That's what I'm trying to do.
I just don't think his helmet would end up in the Mandalorians because it's Revan's mask. Like Revan is, that's a pretty big deal, especially among Jedi.
The two other places it would show up would probably be Korriban or Coruscant at the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way: there could be like some like statue or like some like stained glass painting thing showing Revan.
Imagine they go to Korriban and like they show like they show Exar Kun's lightsaber. Mm-hmm. They show Darth Bane. Darth Bane's lightsaber. They show Darth Malik's head mask and whatnot.
Imagine what if they're probably not going to do this. I'm just going to throw this out there. They do like a narrated flashback. In other words, like the armorers talk about the Mandalorian Wars, and then it like cuts to a narrated flashback, and then all of a sudden we just see Keanu Reeves with two lightsabers.
Okay, I think
that won't happen, but I'm like, that'd be cool.
What they really need to do is they need to go into the history of the Darksaber, because we both know the Darksaber was the lightsaber of the first Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah.
And so they need to talk about that. But also, like, if they do show Revan, it's just going to be his mask. It's just going to be in his outfit, and he's not going to speak.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's not gonna do anything big. He'll just show up. As well, they'll like have the camera show on him.
Yeah, I don't think Revan's going to show up here.
Or they'll name drop him at some point. Just name drop at least, and just say
we're more likely to get a name drop of Canderous Ordo than we are.
That could happen too. Well, remember, this way,
Canderous Ordo did become Mandalore.
Yeah, even if they name drop Canderous Ordo, that canonizes Revan. So either way, it's fine.
I think that might happen. I think we might get a Easter egg of Canderous Ordo. I think because he was Mandalore. So
he's the Mandalore in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Yeah, So like I could see them doing that. I'm just surprised like Sabine hasn't showed up because like she's a Mandalorian herself. She had the dark saber.
She's alive in this point.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see how the Ahsoka show ties in.
I'm really excited because Sabine actually is confirmed to be coming back for Ahsoka and Ezra.
Yeah, so we're gonna see Ezra. So it's gonna be interesting to see where Ezra went at the end of Rebels.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't think he'd go down the dark side.
No, he's not. But I'm just saying it'd be interesting to see where he ends up. Maybe we'll even see Thrawn. Because remember,
Thrawn is
Thrawn.
No, Thrawn is actually gonna be the antagonist. Because remember, in the Ahsoka episode season 2, she asked where is Thrawn. Like she's actually hunting him down. So I think Thrawn. Also, don't be surprised if the Ahsoka series adapts Heir to the Empire.
Oh yes, they call it Heir to the Empire. That'd be great.
Because that was like the big Thrawn's big book, and it actually did take place roughly around take place 30 years afterwards.
What's up, Andre?
But like I could totally see them adapting Heir to the Empire.
But okay, so Nick, I'm gonna give you this. What are your predictions for the next episode? Are they gonna play more? But actually, there's one thing I want to talk about real quick. How do you think seeing a mythosaur affects Bo-Katan? Because remember, she thought they were a myth, and then she literally came face to face with one of these creatures.
To me, it's obvious her character arc is believing in the Mandalorian creed more. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
that's where she's going. Like, basically, she's been jaded for so long. Now she's starting to believe again. It's pretty clear that's her character arc.
The way she was staring at him as he went into the water, I swear I thought she was going to put her helmet on and do it too.
I was getting that feeling too. Like I kind of felt like we were about 2 seconds away from that as well.
It'd be interesting is that's where she is at the end of the season. She takes the oath too.
Also, I'm creating a new ship name, Bojarin.
Yeah, you know what? I could go off of that. I could go off of that. That's a ship I could agree with.
I'm sorry, but like it just kind of seems like it because it feels like the best outcome is for them to be like a power couple ruling Mandalore. I just think it's the best outcome.
Or at least they didn't even rule Mandalore. She just joins his crew.
I would not be opposed to more Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, here's what they could do, and this could be Mando season 4. It's them traveling the galaxy, gathering up the Mandalorians. They're trying to unite the clans again.
Okay.
That would be really cool, and they could they could bring in a bunch of new Mandos and stuff. Right, and I do think Mando is gonna have one more fight with Pre Vizsla, and then he's gonna finally earn Vizsla's respect.
Yeah, I think because look how easily Bo-Katan used the Darksaber.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to teach him how to use it properly.
Yeah, and that's why I say at some point this is going to be the season where he learns how to use that sword.
Yeah, because
how cool does that Darksaber look? By the way, in live action, it just looks so dope.
I never thought they'd be able to get the Darksaber right in live action, but they did, and it's great.
And I love how it has a different sound than the other lightsabers. They captured that.
Yeah.
But it was just so cool how she tore apart that creature as soon as she grabbed the Darksaber. I was like, yes, yes. As soon as she's holding with the shield, it's like a Spartan. I was like, oh hell yes. By the way.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I think that droid is connected to the pirates.
Me too. I was gonna actually I was gonna be the next question. What do you think the droid is? It could be a trap set by pirates, maybe. And if so, what was it trying to take out of Din?
Hey, it's obviously trying to take his blood.
Mm-hmm. But why? Maybe it's growing a new body because it looked to have an organic eye.
And that body it had was pretty organic too. It had organic parts to it.
Yeah, but that thing where it gave me serious General Grievous vibes, though. The
Mhm.
ground body kind of. I was like, oh, okay, you guys obviously were inspired somehow by Grievous.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, I mean, I could see it being a pirate thing, or maybe a trap set by the Empire. Because remember,
The technology is way too crude to be Empire.
true, that is true. So it's more likely supposed to be pirates. Plus, they had the pirate fleet show up.
Yeah,
But then
like
again, why wouldn't the pirates stay there if they saw that it was like not toxic to like plunder Mandalore?
maybe it was traps for people. I don't know.
True, I get that. The only problem with that is that there's like a bunch of Beskar there with the
Maybe they
armor.
didn't know. Like here's a theory. What if they thought it was still toxic, so that's why they had those droids there.
Okay, that could work. Like they drop them in from orbit, and that's another use for that spider walker
Yeah,
thing.
and they were like traps and whatnot for any things or whatever.
That's cool. I could buy that. We'll probably learn more about that maybe in as early as episode 3 because they're still there. By the way, do you think we stay on this planet on Mandalore for most of of the season?
I don't know because there's not that much to do on Mandalore really besides retaking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be 8 episodes, and this is going to be episode 3. I don't think, based off all the plot they have now, I don't think they're like honestly. I think probably episode 3, maybe 4, but then you have 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's like I don't think they'll stay on there all the. They got to introduce new plot.
True, they gotta do something there. We could. I mean, what they could do is make like this season, like assembling all the Mandalorians, like him trying to be like a mediator between like Bo-Katan's group and the Children of the Watch, because there's tension between those two factions, and he's trying to get them to work together to retake
Possibly.
Mandalore.
I think that would probably be more of a season 4 arc because I really want to say Din's arc is becoming the man that can be Mandalore. Like he's got it. This is basically him being mentally ready to assume the mantle of Mandalore.
He will. I'm 100% sure he will be Mandalore at some point in the show.
Yeah, and he could ride the Mythosaur at the end. I think, like you said, you're Alice, for all my talk of setup, you very much mentioned the setup of riding the Mythosaur, so that's been set up, so it will be paid
Season
off.
1, and then even when Bo-Katan was reading the inscription, they mentioned again that Mandalore the Great rode the Mythosaur.
Are you familiar with the writing concept known as Chekhov's gun?
Kind of. Do you want to remind me?
So basically, let's say you're doing a scene and you're in like a cabin. If you describe a gun being on the mantle, then that gun must be used at some point in the scene. Like, let's say people are having dinner, and you either show the shotgun, or like say, "Hey, what's that?" "Oh, that's my pappy shotgun." And all of a sudden, people attack. Then the person will grab the shotgun from the mantle.
I see what you're talking about. It's just so in other words, if you describe something, it has to serve a purpose in the scene.
If you describe an item, an object, or a concept, so like you said. The riding the Mythosaur is a type of Chekhov's gun.
3 times about 3 times they've talked about it so far in the entire show.
Yeah, it's very blatant that there will be he probably did. What if it's Bo-Katan riding the Mythosaur?
See, okay, I could see that, but see, he already has the Darksaber too.
See, the thing that I think is, I don't think Bo-Katan is going to be Mandalore. I think part of her character arc is accepting the fact that he won't be Mandalore, but supporting Din. Because remember, she's tried to be Mandalore 3 times already. Like they've done the storyline multiple times. Doing it again would be stupid. But I think her character arc is accepting that it's not for her, but it is Din's. So it's like she supports him, and who knows? Maybe they get married.
I could see that. Maybe that's the subplot of the season. Them deciding, hey, let's get together. Obviously, they would do it a little bit better than the way I described it, but that could be a
they're certainly
subplot.
going to play that plot point out better than they did in Halo.
Because here's the exactly. But well, first off, this character is actually likable as opposed to Maki. But anyway, I can't believe you just mentioned Halo. But okay,
It's just we were talking about like helmets coming off and uglies being bummed, so it's just I had to invoke
and
it.
how dare you compare Katie Sackhoff to Maki?
Yeah, Katie Sackhoff is prettier.
But yeah, exactly. But anyway, I do think that Bo-Katan is going. You know how there's always like one character who hangs out with Mando for most of the season. I think Katan is going to be that character.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be pretty much involved in the entire season. Because particularly now that she's seen that like a few of these legends are actually true, it's kind of funny. You actually hear her gasp when she sees the mythosaur as she's rising.
Yeah.
So she's like, maybe this wasn't all BS. And then she starts to believe. And that's why I think it could be she takes the oath at some point, because she's starting to believe maybe this whole religion thing isn't BS.
Here's the thing. I don't think she's going to be full on Child of the Watch, because I think her
Not
and
full on.
Din, no, I think her and Din are going to find kind of like a middle ground between both of their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think Din will become not as fanatical, but I do think Bo-Katan will become slightly more religious. And they'll kind of meet in the middle.
She'll take it more seriously, in other words, is what I think.
And Dan will take it less seriously, but they'll kind of match each other, is what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Katie Sackhoff, should be good as Captain Marvel, or is she too old?
No.
I could see her playing Carol Danvers.
I mean, if you have her play an older Carol Danvers, easy. She, it's kind of funny, Nick. She has the voice to play Captain Marvel too, and she has the attitude to play Captain Marvel. Like, wow. She would be a fantastic Carol Danvers. Wow. Jared, I can't wait for a Battlestar Galactica rewatch. You're just going to be fawning all over Katie Sackhoff.
I was going to call her, hey, it's Bo-Katan.
Like, if you think she's badass in Mandalorian, you have not seen anything yet. Like, she is so amazing in Battlestar Galactica.
That's why, if I only get 2 Mandalorian, but my plan is to collect all the hot toys for the Mandalorians. But if I can only get 2, it's going to be Din and Bo, because those
is two. Is there a Cara Dune hot toy?
I don't know. There's a Black Series action figure, which I will get because I want to have some Cara Dune. But the point is, for hot toys, because they're so expensive and I have to really decide which ones I really want, Bo-Katan and Mando, because so far those 2 are my favorite characters of Mandalorian and Star Wars.
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that you get Bo-Katan, and then Katie Sackhoff shows up at MegaCon, and you get to have her sign the hot toy.
Well, what I was planning on also doing is getting the helmets for Mando and Bo-Katan, then I'll have her sign the helmet. Mm-hmm.
And then you get Pedro Pascal, and also get the suit actor for Mandalorian too.
Yeah, of course. And then
by the way, the suit actor for Mandalorian was at a con I was at recently.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so that's my plan. Oh yeah, JJheat for some reason has fallen asleep, but that's fine. But my point is, I'm getting a lot more Mando merch, because so far all I have is that bus. But I'll expand. But all right, so Nick, so total thoughts. And by the way, I think Ana de Armas is good playing a live action. She'd be a good Mara, but it has to. Emilia Clarke is a good one too. And Ana de Armas could be a good Star Wars character too. Who would she be? Well, Ana de Armas would be a good Star Wars character. I don't know who she would be in Star Wars.
The problem is he's too old to play a Jaina kind of character. Well, I mean, that was pretty much Rey. Like, he's basically, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, I don't think she's fierce enough to play Mara Jade. I don't think she's got that fierceness to her.
It was kind of funny.
By the way, Katie Sackhoff would have been an amazing Mara Jade, by the way.
Literally, dude, I was about to say that. I was saying if she weren't Bo-Katan, I could see her playing Mara Jade.
I'm trying to think of like my extended universe characters that she could be.
Dr. Aphra?
Dr. Aphra? From where?
She's a comics character who's it's a long story.
I could see her playing Hera Syndulla.
Okay, or she could play an Inquisitor, like a good Inquisitor.
Would it? I know they have someone already cast, but Sabine.
Yeah, I could see her playing because Sabine at this point in the timeline is that age, so that would actually work.
But if we're gonna go, honestly, if we're going to go Old Republic, I think she might be a good Darth. Yes. I was actually gonna say Darth Zana. She was actually the first apprentice of Darth Bane for the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to think of like characters that are like, because I mean Ana de Armas has a fierceness, but she's too sweet, she's too nice, he's too
sweet, yeah, and
like sexy and whatnot, you know. But yeah, she could do Bastila, because Bastila kind of has like that quiet feminine strength to her that I love.
My favorite part, but by the way,
she could play Satele.
That's true. But so I'm doing another playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic, and my favorite thing is just annoying Bastila saying, "You know you love me," and she's seeing her stumble. I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. I love that.
What's the Kaleo?
Who?
The Zabrak female from that group?
There's no. I'm talking about Knights of the Old Republic, not
the
Old Republic.
Yeah, Zabrak female. Sorry, the Twilight female. Sorry.
Oh, I could see her playing Mission. I could see her playing. Yeah, she could so play Mission. But anyway, so I think that's before we wrap up, Nick.
Oh, Denzel Washington for Jolie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, yes. By the way, so Nick, before we wrap up, okay, so how would you rate?
By the way, at some point we need to cast Knights of the Republic, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll do that. But so before we log off, how would you essentially rate these two episodes, and what are your predictions for the rest of the season?
I pretty much laid my prediction of the season already. We covered that, so I don't need to repeat myself.
Okay, go ahead.
See, episode 1, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 because that abandoned plot line was really stupid. And the pirate captain, I know some people like dinged him online, and yeah, it looks bad, but he's only really on it for like a second.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 2, I'd give an 8. It is definitely an improvement. I mean, we're going to diverge here, but I definitely feel like Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan, she flipped her feelings really quickly. But I did enjoy her in the cave and talking to Grogu, and like, I don't mind the plot point. I just feel like she kind of flipped her feelings too quickly. But that we disagree on that one.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: if you're talking about the abandoned plot thread with the droid, that came in episode 2.
Oh crap! I thought we only had 2 episodes.
Well, because remember, episode 2 starts off on Tatooine. By the way, I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet. That part where Grogu leaps out of the ship, does a front flip into the lady's arms. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
That kind of reminds me of like something like my rats sometimes do. Is like they'll just like leap out of the cage into my arms. It is as adorable as you can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so in me, as a lore guy, I would rate this a 8 out of 10, maybe because of how much lore they dropped, particularly with Mandalorians.
Are you saying we had the same score for episode 3?
Episode 3 hasn't come out yet.
So there's only been 2 episodes.
There's only been 2. That's why I put episodes 1 and 2.
Okay, then I was right. Okay, I'm sorry. So episode 1. Why are you just confusing me? So we have the same score for episode 2, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, episode 2 is fantastic. I loved episode 2, particularly as a Clone Wars fan, seeing like the city.
Did you get episode 2?
Well, I'm saying so far together, I give these things an 8 out of 10 in terms of lore. Episode 2 is way better than episode 1. I give episode 2 like a 9 out of 10, honestly. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'd say if you average out the 2, yeah, I'd probably give overall it's an 8. So we're up right on the money. We're
roughly there. Yeah, exactly. And plus, I like the action scenes that they did have. Seeing Bo-Katan with that Darksaber again was fantastic. And just seeing
That
her
was a good
fight
scene.
too, like when she's surrounded by those creatures and then she like tears them apart. By the way, that scene where Grogu is escaping, that creature is blocking the cave, and then all of a sudden the camera like cuts the outside of the cave and the thing goes flying because he used force push on it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so good.
Yeah. Also, I do think at some point Grogu is going to wield Yoda's lightsaber.
I mean, he goes back to Luke and says, "Can I have Yoda's lightsaber?" Because
Luke appears and gives it to him.
You think Luke is gonna appear again? That'd be interesting.
I mean, Disney wants that nostalgia money, so I would think, yeah.
No, Qui-Gon shows up just to really screw with people. I don't think that would happen, but that's just a way.
Sorry, I just died a little inside.
I know. But yeah, that's where I think it's a good place to leave it. I'm excited for what this season has, particularly if it continues this like deep dive into Mandalorian culture and lore, and because I know we're gonna have like there's gonna be tons of character development for all these different characters, and we'll see like how the other Mandalorians factor in, because there's plenty of like stuff in the trailer that hasn't shown up yet. So it could be that like he's gonna go hang out with the other Mandalorians and say, "I found a freaking mythosaur on Mandalore." But on that note, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Comics League Dark. Join us tomorrow for The Matrix Part 2 as we continue we continue to cover our thing of The Matrix. Remember, next Saturday is a very special coverage of first off, we're going to be covering Matrix 3, but also in the afternoon we're going to be having our Snyderverse celebration set up probably around noon, 1 o'clock or so is where I'm thinking for the Saturday stream. It's going to be a Saturday stream, and then a couple hours later we'll have the movie night stream. In other words, what I'm thinking about doing. So Nick, where can one find you, and what do you have coming up on your channel?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at the Phoenix Press. Find me on YouTube. Just search that same name, and I got my Justice League rewatch with Jared, and then we'll be continuing watch the Super Split Screen Bros with maybe some possible changes to the format. We'll get you news on that later. And then also continuing our Let's Play series, where Jared will laugh spectacularly at all my failures.
But by the way, Brown Destroyer has an interesting thing, a Stranger Things discussion.
That might be a good thing to talk about in an expanded format of, news to come.
That'd be fun because I love that show so much. But so that's what we got coming up. This Monday, I'm releasing a video where I discuss the Darth Vader comic series by Charles Sewell. I just finished reading his entire run on Darth Vader. It's fantastic. And so I got that. In terms of Indie Wednesday, I'm going to be probably talking about King Spawn. And in terms of Under Two Capes work, still getting together which episode, what topic I want to cover. But so far, I've had a very positive reaction to the episode I did with Max on masculinity in comic books. So maybe I'll do a little bit more of a general topic like that. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this particular discussion. And again, so the way this is going to work is that next I'll put a poll on my community tab after this, and then go on to there and vote if you want the Mando show to be a segment of Comics League Dark, or if you just want it to be like its own show, in other words, which will probably come out on about Thursdays, I would say. So just let us know. Either way is fine with us. Either way. So stay heroic, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye. And since JJheat isn't here, I'll say it. Excelsior!